He says, I know your works, that you have a name, that you are alive, but you are dead. Now, you see, again, this is a great place to talk about the idea of the name. You have a name. Now, if it's talking about literally their name, what would that have to do with being alive or dead? Now, it makes a lot more sense if it says, let's change that word out. It says that you have a reputation that you are alive. That people know you to be alive, but yet you're really dead. In other words, people think of you as being your reputation that's connected to you, but yet you're dead. Now, of course, we could go to Matthew and other places and read the verses which talk about how he might come as a thief. And you need to be vigilant in watching. We're not going to go there. You know those verses. I don't care where you were raised and what version of Christianity you read those things. You know those already. So when you hear this, he's referring to those kind of things. Look, if you're not prepared, if you're not awake, and he shows up, it's not so much that he's showing up when he says, I'm going to come at a time when you don't know. It's going to be because you're not paying attention. Not that you should know exactly when he's coming, but what difference does it make? You don't know how much time you have anyway. Is there any translation that doesn't put the word worthy in there? That's what the word means. It means that you have earned an accolade, a designation as being like a thumbs up. You have been found worthy because you did something. Or maybe you were found worthy because you didn't do something that you shouldn't have done. And you actually passed that test. Whatever is going on in your walk, it's got to be circumstance irrelevant. And so I was reminded listening to part 9 or whatever it was of the teaching, as I'm now preparing for this, that we have to remember to be complete, you have to walk this regardless of circumstance. Your circumstances should not have a relevant effect on whether you do or do not do. Are you guarding after his word? Because see, then, this is what we're going to run into the next verse. See, I'm giving up those of the congregation of Satan who say they are Yehudim and are not, but lie. So what are those people? Those are people that are claiming their family, but they're not because their actions deny it. Because they're lying. Not because they're lying, claiming that they have a birth line. They're saying, I'm part of this group. I'm part of the body, but their actions are completely out of line with that. What he's saying here is, look, you're going to have to show me that you can endure through this. You're going to guard my word even if it hurts, even if it's life and death. You're going to do it anyway because, after all, I'm offering you forever. And some of you are thinking, I don't know, I can't do this. Some of you are going back to the Matrix analogy with the red pill and the blue pill and wishing you ate the other one. I'd rather not know. Ignorance is bliss. So you don't just have to be attending, you have to actually be present, like in your mind, in your heart, not just physically present. So what does that look like? Does that maybe kind of bring a little bit of hot and cold thing? See, you could show up. Oh, my wife and I did that for a long time at the place that we used to go to because it was a dead place. So it really wasn't our fault as much as that but we showed up because we felt like we had to. We wanted it to be hot and there and great and exciting and going forward and learning and all that other stuff. And the place was cold. Which, praise Yah, I guess, because without that, I wouldn't have been motivated to do this. So what he's saying is, if you don't do it yourself, I'm going to cause it to be a real problem for you to get you to wake up and do it yourself. Remember how we've talked about this many, many times. There's plan A and plan B. Plan A, you wake up and fix it. Plan B, he turns up the heat to wake you up to fix it. I prefer, and I think you would too, plan A. All right? But either way, because he loves you, he's not just going to let you just go. He's going to turn up the heat and try to get your attention. Let's go to chapter 22. Now, if anybody was confused, now we really are at the end. Okay? All we got after this is maps. Okay? Or something like that, or the lexicon. Okay? So there isn't any more verses after this. We're in chapter 22. We're at the end of the book. And we're going to look at verse 12. So understand, he says, look, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me to give each according to what? His works. Okay, so all the way to the very end of the very end. I mean, there's only like 8 more verses in the whole thing. The very completion of the whole thing is what? He's going to judge you according to your works. And you're going to receive according to your works. You're going to be rewarded according to your works. By the way, that shows, again, the consistency of the idea of reaping and sowing.